morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Corrie West, the President and Director of Heavenz Soldier Enterprise. This morning, we will be teaching people that have asked me questions, what's butternut, and how does it vary from your walnuts. So, a quick lesson in tree species on the landing with Heavenz Soldier Enterprise and Mr. Corrie West. So, thinking what we'll do here is we'll show you the outer shells, difference between yellow birch and white birch as well while they're sitting here. What I have going on here is a walnut log right here. You can see it's a rough bark. It's thick. It protects itself pretty good. And we'll look at the ends of it. As you can see, it's like a chocolate center. It has hints of like a green at times as well, a chocolatey green, and it always has your white ring. So your white ring, and then your chocolate insides, and then a rough bark, and it's a brownish bark, gray hints, has moss on it sometimes, especially in the forest. And this here, what do you think this tree is right here? It has your chocolatey caramel color and your white ring. Would that be your walnut, or would this be a butternut? And this one is actually a butternut, and it has like a grayish bark to it. So when you're going through the forest, you see the silver shim through it. You look for that, and it has the same tops as as your walnut. They're relatively the same tree, minus shades of color. And I do have a darker butternut here, as you can see the difference between the two. This one's a fresh cut, just cut yesterday. This one here, and sitting for 5 days, it darkens up. So it's very hard to tell your difference between your walnut and your butternut. And then down here, as you can see, you have your white ash, perfect heart right there. And close up again of this is a bigger butternut. That's a big guy. That'll bring some serious money. It's a rare tree species in the first place. But you can see the bark difference. It has flat, flush bark, and it's got that silvery look to it. And then you have your ash, which is somewhat the same, but it's brown. And this is flatter right here on the surface, and this is pointy and jagged, your ash, and you can tell your centers. How big it is. It's a big tree, won't even fit in the screen. That's a white ash. It's beautiful. And then down here we have a big maple tree, or sugar maples, right there, right here, and over there. The hearts are a little bigger, but you got to do what you got to do in the forest. And here we have our nice white birch. That there's a perfect heart. It's a perfect circle, veneer quality. Now, as you can see, right here we have yellow birch right here, and then above it we have a white birch. Let me sit down here and get a good look. See the difference between the two? White birch right here on the top. Right here we have a butternut, and here we we have a yellow birch. Difference between the white birch and the yellow birch. The yellow birch is golden, beautiful stuff, and hard. I always have to sharpen my chains to cut that stuff. It's incredible how hard it is compared to your white birch. White birch is pretty tough stuff. This here is a nice little yellow birch. So there's your walnut. Your walnut is pretty dark. And then some of these have dirty ends on them because my bridge broke out with all the farmers' water coming from the tile drains. So here we have butternut there, right here. Down here we have walnut. And that's butternut. There we have white birch. Oh no, that's yellow birch. Yeah. Yellow birch. It's got a nice heart to it, perfectly circular. And then we have white birch here. And then down here we have white ash. And then here's a good example how dark it can actually get. So if you're walking through your piles, it might trick you sometimes. You can tell how the bark is flush on the top, and it still has its ring, and it has its chocolate centers. This heart here is pretty bad. I get major deductions for this, but you can still use all this for lumber, right? All the way down. So I figured throw it in the pile and we'll use it. And that's a beautiful white ash sticking out saying hello. I will be one day a table, chairs, flooring in your couches. White ash is fantastic furniture wood. Here we have some more ash, some more white birch, and then this here is our cherry, black cherry. Beautiful stuff. Has its ring, nice dark centers on it. You can see the difference between your birch, how bright the birch is, and your cherry is nice and dark. Bark of a sugar maple. And then we have more cherries down here. See, they have nice, like, scabby bark on them. Nice stuff. Makes beautiful countertops. And here we have our big pile of 16'6" cedars. Anybody that's a cedar fan, we have lots of it. And over here in that pile we have poplar, hemlock, balsam fir, a couple of spruce, and there is some bigger butternuts at the bottom that have to come out. So that's what we're doing here today at Heavenz Soldier Enterprise. We have Freeman lumber coming today for pickup. So if you're interested in purchasing this fantastic butternut, just call Lou Freeman at Freeman Lumber and just tell him we've seen Heavenz Soldier Enterprise's video and we want to make custom cabinets, countertops, whatever you're doing, flooring with that butternut. There's only so much of it. It's hard to find. I found a good deposit here. The squirrels take the nuts off the seed tree and they distribute it all throughout the forest, and then as the nuts fall they blossom, right? And over the years they grow. But there's your nice walnut. It's the only one I could find in this forest that was a decent log. You can see how scaly the bark is. Like it's like thick and rugged looking. On the face it's triangular. Pretty neat. Pretty good stuff. So, dedicate that to my buddy Mark, my other buddy Randy, for cabinet makers and home builders. They love walnut. They choose walnut over all wood for their favorite. I like butternut myself, and I love walnut stuff. Walnut's pretty expensive. And that's it for right now. I have to run down to the other site and watch the boys load up, and then give them a pull out with the cable skidder if need be. There's a bunch of cherry and birch at the other site and some poplar, so I'm going to just truck it all over here, pick up our piles. There's supposed to be 2 trucks coming today, but unfortunately Freeman's had 2 trucks malfunction, and I know all about breakdowns because that's what Heavenz Soldier Enterprise dealt with all of 2015. Every chainsaw, every truck, the skidder, all broke down. Rebuilt everything, and we still need parts for specific machines and vehicles, so that's life. It's tough. It's part of the working forest. And sooner or later we'll get up to Madawaska to do some mining. I don't see them down there as of yet. We marked our spot with some pylons, just so they don't go in the ditch when they back in. It's pretty tight. But this is what I've done myself. All of that there. And I had another lad help me with some of this stuff right there. But all of this I did by myself, and it's a tough job. So if you need to get a hold of Heavenz Soldier Enterprise for some logs, we have different grades. We deal with specific species depending on where we're at. You just contact Heavenz Soldier Enterprise. And we have forest engineering for development. We do contracting, construction, high-risk tree removals, solar energy programs. I'm the president and director, Mr. Corrie West, and this is what we do. This is Wednesday, December the 7th, I do believe. And I'll be jumping up in there, going for a drive down the road. And I'll get you some pictures too of the trucks being loaded. Maybe shoot a quick video of it while it's in progress. And yeah, call us at 905-213-4036, or get a hold of us on the internet through linkedin.com. And you just punch my name in on Google, Mr. Corrie West, or Corrie West, and you'll find me all over the place. What else do we have here? I have Corrie West, CORRIEWEST _ business tech at live.ca. That's Corrie West _ business tech at live.ca. You can email us, send us some photos, some information on your forest. We can come in, manage your forest. We can enroll you in a tax incentive program. Okay. So we have some vehicles coming. No, that's not. That one's not big enough. I was thinking that was Freeman's log trucks. Yeah, we can do forest tax incentive programs where you enroll with the government, and what they do is they give you a tax cut on managing your forest, but you have to manage it. You can't clear cut it. You have to. Everybody around here loves me. It's a great place to work. Clients are happy. It's we just come in, we selective cut, take out some larger trees, leave some other seed trees that are larger. We leave the odd dead tree that's full of insects. That way they don't distribute their little colonies all throughout the forest. We just contain them in one tree. It takes them years and years to to do what they do with it. Breaks down anyways in the end, and it turns into soil, feeds the forest floor. We deal with invasive species, tree species, the strangling vine. We have to cut that down because it chokes off your trees. But in the end, you know, you have a bunch of decent quality trees. We sell firewood as fuel wood, and we ship logs. We have contracts with Freeman Lumber, so you can purchase our lumber from them, or we do custom sawmilling. But yeah, in the end, if we deal with your forest, there's a nice big white pine right here, a beautiful tree. What we do is cut you a check at the end of the logging procedure, and that pays. We pay our fuel, our maintenance, and then you get 1/3. 1/3 of all the profits in the end. So it's a good deal for clients, landowners. It's better than letting your trees crumble to the ground and get absolutely nothing for them. And it provides for your economy and the populace. You know, you have fuel wood, keep warm. You have countertop veneer, quality stuff. You have number 1, 2, 3 lumber. You can build anything with it. So make plywood, chipboard, all that stuff for building developments. And when you're in a forest, try and stack up some brush so that little critters can have somewhere to sleep and hide from the bigger predators. We do that. In the back forest here, way back here, what I did was I cut trees around the porcupine's house. There's a big, huge sugar maple. It was decaying, but he had little, what would you say, little caves and little caverns built into this tree, and there's other trees threatening to fall on it and crush his home. So he looked like he was actually praying, sitting there, and he's looking at me. So he's a big fella. I wouldn't want to go over and pet him, but he just sat there. I cut the trees around his house, and he's happy. He just walked in his home and pretty much said, "Thank you very much, Mr. West." Now, nothing's going to blow any of these big trees down on us. And that's kind of what we do. Every time we scratch up the ground with the logs, what happens is the turkeys come along and eat what's on the ground. Little insects come out. The deer will eat the foliage, but there's not much of that left. So sometimes they come and chew on bark, and yeah, it's kind of neat. Haven't seen a moose yet this year, but we're working on it. So I'm going to head down to the other job site and wait for Freeman Lumber and ship some logs to Freeman Lumber Limited in Bancroft, Ontario, and that would be shipped from and by the hard work of Mr. Corrie West and Heavenz Soldier Enterprise. Don't forget us. Look us up on YouTube, linkedin.com, email us and telephone us. Thanks very much, and enjoy this wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for viewing, and you can check us out on many other videos and see what we do. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen.